Blueface. Hey, you guys. Dang, I sound like old girl talking about some. Hey, you guys. I sounded just like her. I can't think of her name right now. I want to say either Layla Lynn or Impressive. Good morning, y'all. Grand Rising, y'all. Because we not mourning anything. We happy to be here. Grand Rising. Y'all see how I'm working on that? Grand Rising, y'all. Grand Rising. Now, y'all, I have to warn you guys ahead of time that your girl is gonna have to be getting off this live by around 1:30, okay? But don't worry because I will be back tonight. But y'all remember I told y'all that um our we will finish our reaction to the interview with Carissa and Jason Lee. Hey Rain, hey y'all, hey y'all. Today's a great day. Today's a great day, you guys. Today is a great day, and we are claiming it. Hold on, let me get my baby. Hold up. Y'all come through. The moderators be on deck. Moderators be on deck because I need you. Moderators be on deck because I need you. Hold on 1 second. I always forget one thing. One thing. It always be just one thing I forget every time. Every time. But that's okay. That's all right. That's okay. What they used to say, you're gonna pump our gas someday. Listen, y'all. Hello. I'm glad y'all in here because we are about to get started. Now check this out. Check this out, y'all. I got a interview. If you've been watching my channel, then you know I even mentioned it this morning. Okay, I even mentioned it this morning. With y'all being my family, y'all know that I'm gonna keep it all the way real, all the way honest. We are in the building phase. Y'all know that I am aggressively looking for a job. Y'all know that. I got an interview today, and I'm only gonna say this once because I got it scrolling down on the bottom. So I might say it twice because it's not as many people in here right now. So as the people come in, I might say it. Okay, I work tonight, so I'm gonna try to watch the live later, but not sure, but here now. Thank you. I'm gonna stream on TV. Yes, I try to get the baby down for now. Okay, that's perfect. Don't worry because today we're getting ready to jump right into it. I just want to put out this disclaimer because I do have about an hour and 15, hour and a half at the most, but definitely I can't be on here no longer than an hour and a half, right? So I'm not gonna waste no time. We're gonna get right into it because tonight we're going to continue this live with everything about the baby and what she was trying to tell us and everything. But every time I come live, I tell y'all that we are gonna finish the interview that Carissa had with Jason Lee. Thank you for reminding me about this interview and thank you for telling me I got this. But I just want to say to y'all that I don't have a way there. Okay, I don't have a way there. My mom had something important to do that was pre-planned, that was already planned, already set in motion, and I did not know, um, you know, what the man was gonna say yesterday when I called him. When I called him back, I didn't know what he was gonna say. So I will say that I have no way there. My mom has something to do.
The story will be built from the ground.
I know that like that it was already planned, and there's nothing that I can do about that, which is why I got at the bottom of the screen. You'll see my cash app scrolling at the bottom of the screen. where I put the fair use at. If I have any words in there that I didn't spell right, girl, don't judge me because I was moving fast. And y'all know I wear glasses where I need readers and everything, and I was typing fast because I'm trying to hurry up and get this done. So everything that you'll need to see is in the bottom. I mean, yeah, is in the bottom bar. I'm gonna vlog it like on my way there or whatever in the Uber or Lyft because I'm speaking it to an existence that I will be able to get it. Okay, because I will have to get my way there and my way back. So I'm speaking into existence that I will be able to get it. Okay. Now, once I get it and I get there, I know I will get the job. God is good. I heard that. I heard that. God is good. I heard that. I absolutely heard that. God is good. God is good. We are started. We have started. Thank you so much. We have started. We have started. My girl, do you mind if I hope you mind. I hope you don't mind me saying thank you for the $5 because I appreciate it. Thank you for the $5. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. That is a start for us to get where we needed to get and get the mission done, right? Okay, good luck on the interview. Be sure of yourself and be yourself and you'll do great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And he is. You have great energy. I've said it before. Thank you so much, y'all. Thank y'all so much. So I need my moderators to like maybe as more people come in, I need my moderators if y'all don't mind. Hey, sis, anybody who I haven't, I want to make sure I speak to all my girls, all the notification gang girls, because y'all come in here when the notification pop up and say that I'm live. Y'all come up in here and I thank y'all. I want to give a shout out to the replay gang all the way because the replay gang come in strong too. Because when y'all come in, replay game, when y'all come in, y'all might not have kept caught the live while I'm actually doing it. But when y'all come in and y'all give me y'all feedback, I appreciate it. And y'all help us to get closer to that mark that we need to get to. We're in the 900s now, y'all. We are almost to 1,000. And once we get to 1,000, y'all know that just means that I'm approved for it. But then we got to keep climbing and keep going so that this can become something that I can put everything into like it's my 9 to 5 because I'll be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna keep going, we're gonna keep pushing. If you don't want me to say your name, or if you don't want me to say thank you, or if you don't want me to tell or say that you sent me anything, put that in the note part. If you send me a cash app, just put anonymous and I won't say anything. I'll just say thank you. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it is. It is. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. This morning when I was making my bagel and my coffee, I said, Lord, if it's meant to be, if this job is something that you want me to do and it is meant to be, Lord, then I need you to make it easy for me to get there and help me get there and get back with no problem. And I'm just doing what came to mind, which is okay, go ahead and get your live out the way. Sometimes people show you love on the live and they know that you're trying. They know that you're trying, Alexis. So if it's meant to be, then it's gonna happen. And if it's not, if it don't happen, then guess what? It's okay because I know that all things are happening for me and not against me in Jesus' name. But this is important because at first, I was gonna let the interview go. At first, I was just gonna not do it. But then when those other things happened and I was just literally sitting in there thinking, I was like, I do not want to be filled with regret of wondering why I didn't go to the interview just because the man is not offering to pay as much as the next person. At least it's something. You know what I'm saying? At least it's something. And I said, I would continue. If I don't like it, I would continue looking, but I need to be employed, I need to be employed, and it is a start. And I want to start somewhere. That's the only way that I can change things is if I get in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's a stepping stone, right? So if I can't make it there and I can't get there and back, then I'm gonna take it as okay. That's not what God wants for me. But I at least gotta try. I at least gotta try. My mama had something pre-planned to do, so I understand that. And this was just me and the guy talked yesterday. about me coming in and doing an interview today, because at first I wasn't gonna do it. So the mere fact that the man still want to interview me, he's still hiring, he's still holding the position, and I gotta try. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. I have other options, and my mom was telling me like, you can be doing this, you can be doing, and I told her like, I'm going to take your advice and I'm going to do those things, but I'm also going to do this too, mom, and I need you to be understanding. And she said okay, and we agree to disagree. That's a beautiful thing, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just giving y'all full disclosure on where I am with it and why I put it in there, because I'm gonna just let God do what he gonna do, you know what I'm saying? Because I know it'll probably be about $20 to $30 to get there and $20 to $30 to get back. So I can't stress about it. All I can do is try. And I appreciate my girl. I don't know if you want me to say your name or not, but you just sent me $5. And I appreciate that. I really do. I won't forget that. It's the things like that that mean so much when people support you in the beginning stages. It's like I never forget that. Just like I never forget Raven and Australia. It's right here at the. Hold on, let me show you. That's it right there on the screen. Hold up, because that thing always comes up on the screen. You see it right up under the screen, and it's scrolling. It's also scrolling under the it's also scrolling under the video, like when you just keep watching that part, but it's also right here too. It just goes away whenever I highlight the comments. But because I really appreciate y'all so much, right? Thank you. Hey Rhonda, thank you for coming in, Rhonda. Thank you so much. Incognito, Rhonda, all of y'all. I appreciate all of y'all. I really do. So I want to go ahead and get the show started for y'all. Moderators, y'all, if y'all want to like let people know as they come in, that'll be great. But I'm gonna act like it's all is well, and I'm gonna act like I've already got it. I'm gonna thank God in advance and say I already got it. I already got the job, and we're gonna do our live like that. So y'all, can continue to let people know. I'm gonna focus on what I want you guys to see in this video, because we got about a good hour. So let's make the most of it, y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. Now I'm gonna come over here to this page, and let me pull up the comments on here so that way I can still see the comments. And because we were at a certain spot in the interview. Hold up. We were at a certain spot in the interview. Hold up. I'm actually going to where our timestamp was and where exactly we were in the interview, so that we can go to the next thing. And then I'm gonna put it in a folder for you guys so that you guys can see it. Hold up. Okay, boom. I already know where to go. I already know where to go. Thank you for the $5. Thank you for the $5. I appreciate that so much. Thank you for the $5. Thank you for the $5. I won't say nothing. It says anonymous, so I'm gonna keep it at that. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right, y'all. And any other ones that come. All right, man. I got two $5 donations. I appreciate y'all so much. Anything else that comes, I will thank y'all at the end of the video. Because I want to give it all I got with this hour. So now that I know about where we are, okay. Now we're gonna start from when Junior um we're gonna start from right here when Junior was locked up. Now the purpose that I'm doing this is because I want us to get to know who Carissa is, and I want us to get to know more of Blueface, okay? Because at the end of the day, at the very end of the day, right? I want us to know who they are because thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sis. Can I say your name? Yeah. Soraya, thank you so much. Soraya, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And I am gonna keep going. I am gonna keep going. And if I miss anything or anybody, matter of fact, at the end of the video, I'm gonna give y'all a final count and tell y'all. I'm gonna give y'all a final count and tell y'all. Well, I'm gonna pray on that because there is some people it might, I don't know. We'll talk in the inbox on Instagram because y'all know I gotta be cognizant of everything. So y'all know what I'm saying. But I thank y'all so much. I thank y'all so much. Thank you, Soraya. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna go live while I'm doing it. But all right. Thank you in advance, Lord. Thank you. Thank you to my people. Okay, y'all. So I'm gonna get focused on this and anything else that comes through. I'm not ignoring it, but y'all know how I get. I am so grateful. And I don't want to waste time by continuing to stop and thank y'all. So I'm gonna thank y'all at the end of this live, okay? I'm gonna get my head in the game right now. And the reason why I want to show this video, right, is because for one, we already started it and we want to finish what we started. Two, this is going to give us more insight on who Carissa is. This is going to give us more insight on who Blueface is, on who her daughter and Dre is, but mostly her, Blueface, and the situation with Krishan and Jaden. And I did hear that it was like rumors that Jaden might be pregnant. I did hear that, but we're going to address that later on tonight, okay? We're going to address that later on tonight. Now I'm about to get focused and we're about to play this interview. And we're gonna finish from where we left off. Y'all are amazing and I love y'all so much. I really do. I really, really, really do. All right, y'all, let's get it.
Snap them out to school when they not looking and run home
at 12 or 13.
at 12 and 6. Yeah.
So
We was a little bit more further along than this. We was a little bit more further along than that. Let me see what the timestamp was then. Hold on, y'all. I want to get the exact timestamp. Dang. What we know so far, the last thing we were talking about in the interview, in the reaction that I did, she was talking about Dre going to jail. And she was talking about how, remember I said, she said, if you keep going, God will meet you there. Did you hear what I said? That's what I'm doing, Carissa. I'm taking your advice. She said, if you just keep going, God will meet you there. And I told y'all how that meant so much to me. You know what I'm saying? So now, then we talked about Dre and how Dre got locked up when he was 16 years old for 10 years. And we talked about how that hurt Blue and what that did to Blue. We talked about where Carissa was from. I'm going to put it in the folder just in case you missed it. But we talked about where Carissa was from and what she had to deal with. We talked about her not knowing who the father of her child was. And we know that she just found out who it was for sure recently on her show Six Side. Okay. This is what changed. This interview in itself changed my view of Carissa from being just, like a mama that just want clout and a mama that just want to be in their child business, or they just want to get fame off of their child or money from their child or whatever that narrative that was going around. This video actually made me question it. It actually made me say, well, you know what? Maybe people should give her a chance, because one thing I love is a transparent, I almost said, a B word. But one thing I love is a transparent chick, because life is not perfect. Life is not perfect. And she sat up here with Jason Lee and she talked about her what she would view as failures or mistakes. And she talked about how she tried to do better every single time. And how many women do we know that have done that? Have done something and they fell short, and then the next time they got pregnant they wanted to make sure they was married, but then they end up getting a divorce, and the next time they got pregnant they thought that, you know what I mean? So this is her journey, and I feel like it's a lot of people who can learn from it. This is how she probably saw Krishan coming from a mile away, because she was young herself before. It just explains a lot. So let's just continue to watch. I might bring it up a little bit, fast forward it a little bit more, and put it on times 2 so that we can get through more of the video.
So Andre was
The
basically
baby daddy.
Yeah, he was forced to be an adult.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna start right here so that y'all will have more context.
Me like visitations.
Mhm.
So we went back to court and we adjusted it. I started getting weekends. I saw Saturday and Sunday every other weekend.
Mhm.
Now, mind you, I'm working and I'm trying to do all these things, so it's putting a dent in my pocket to do this. But I continue to do it for like 8 years. My dad sent the boys back a year later.
How many years?
A year.
Okay.
But he had her for like 8 years.
Okay. So what made you emotional right now? Like, what were you thinking about?
Just thinking about that. What that was like trying to get her back.
Mm-hmm.
Just a refresher. She's talking about Callie. She's talking about trying to get Callie back because if y'all remember in the last video that we did about this, it was a while back. She talked about how Callie's dad took her. She had let him go with him for the summer because her parents got Andre and Blue. Okay, so she had that summer to be able to try to push as hard as she can for her dream, which was to be an actress. Okay, so then she said when she went back to get Callie wasn't there. They had moved. They had new people in high places, and they made it seem like she abandoned the baby, and they ended up getting custody of I just said her name. They ended up getting custody of Callie. Okay, so that is what she's talking about right now, about how, her ex and his girl took Callie and she ended up losing custody of Callie. Okay. Let me see. I'm trying to speed it up.
By this point, with the 3 kids, your 2 boys are with your dad, right? And then your daughter now is caught up in this thing where you're kidnapping her, he's kidnapping her. She doesn't get to see her brothers. They don't get to see their sister. How are you feeling as a mom?
Like I failed because on top of that, she's saying, the stepmom doesn't really like me. She says I look like you all the time. So her and the stepmom never hit it off. Her sisters, they're still all together today, but they would try to take up for her. So she went through a lot with her stepmom to the point where they started getting physical, and that's how I was able to get her back.
Was all of this happening as a result of bad relationship decisions and this pursuit of a career? Because it sounds like you were pursuing this acting thing at all costs, and it was costing you.
It was costing me, but it was also like it was the way we eat. You know what I'm saying? It had become a way of life for us. The kids were acting and booking commercials, and for us, like I said, because rent in California is welfare does not pay enough for anybody to live out here. I don't care what nobody says. You cannot live off welfare alone. And we lived on San Vicente and La Brea. So when John's dad left, that was all on me.
And what about people who may be watching and say, well, why didn't you choose another career? Were there other career options besides acting?
Well, I wasn't just acting. I was retail managing.
So you had the pursuit of your personal passions in that career, but you also had a stable job and you had AFDC, but it still wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough.
And the father's
not with 3 kids. It wasn't enough.
None of
I didn't get any child support from anybody.
Okay. And you didn't try to pursue that?
No. I tried, but I tried with Janice's dad, and I was getting like $250 a month, and that's when he came up with the idea of I know how to get rid of that bill. But I was getting like $250 a month. When he took her, I had to pay him child support.
So you had her for 8 years, and then how did you get her back?
Because her and the stepmom got into a big fight, and she hit her in the face with a remote. And so the dad made a decision that day that him and the stepmom were done because he put hands on the stepmom for putting hands on his daughter. So they were done. So for a minute, it was just my.
Okay, so Callie ended up getting into it with the stepmom. The stepmom did not like Callie, and so the father eventually said, well, you know what? If you don't like my daughter, I'm done with you. So what happened after that, Carissa?
Daughter and her dad. And it was just the 2 of them. So then he brought me into the equation, and we tried to become a family again when she was like 14 years old. And I just after all the pain that he had put me through, I just couldn't do it.
So at any point in time during the time that your 3 kids were still living with you, did any of them ever approach you and ask you like, what the hell's going on? Or talk to you about their experience or how they felt about what was happening?
I honestly think they felt sorry for me. I think that they understood. Like, we had a system, and I think everybody was just doing their best in the system. I mean, there was times where, Andre would be 12, John is like 7, or they're 6 years apart, and I wouldn't make it home from work on time to pick him up from school. Now, they don't let 12-year-olds take kids out. So me and Andre, on the phone, figuring out the plan for him to kidnap him out of school when they're not looking and run home.
At 12 and 13.
At 12 and 6, yeah.
So Andre was basically,
the baby daddy.
Yeah, he was forced to be an adult.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm sure you acknowledge the pressure that would have on a 12-year-old.
Absolutely. It was on me.
Okay.
I'm the oldest too. So
Right.
Okay, Andre is the oldest, and she's talking about how Andre had to go and pick up Blue a bunch of times from school because she was always working. She was a single mom, and it was hard for her. So he's saying Andre had to. Absolutely not. I can't take no calls. I'm live. That's not a family member, y'all. That's a number I don't even know. But I'm not doing that while I'm live. So back to what I was saying. They're talking about now Andre, the one who got 10 years in prison at 16 years old. She's talking about how when he was 12, 13 years old, he was stepping up and being somewhat of a parent while she was working. She's basically telling us her journey as a single mom.
I understood what he was going through.
Mm-hmm. And so now, when I was interviewing Blueface here recently, and I was asking him, like, really, because the first time I interviewed him and Krishan, I just couldn't really understand anything because they were all over the place. And then when I was able to get him here with Jaden, I really wanted to understand, as I was explaining to him about, my journey and experiencing different sexual stuff and, having girlfriends and then now having boyfriends, whatever. I was saying to him, like, trying to explain to him the contrast with where he was Jonathan Porter and then he became Blueface, Schoolyard Crip, and how he pursued this world and this community and this family in the streets that he found comfort in, and it basically took over his identity. At what point did you see the change happening?
I never saw it coming because he promised Andre when we went.
When did you notice that Blueface was a Crip? That's what he's asking her.
Spend the night in the jail with Andre. Me and Blue went to spend the night in the jail with Andre. They let families have
the family visits.
Mm-hmm. So on one of those visits, he promised Andre that he wouldn't get involved in anything like that and that he would stay, clear and stay, playing football. And Andre drew that, his whole sleeve that's on his arm. Andre drew that for him when he was in there, mm-hmm. and he promised that he wouldn't do it.
But Andre was in prison for how long?
From 16 to 29.
Okay, so 13 years. And for what?
13 years.
Okay. So he was with a kid that got into a shootout with another kid. And the guy that he was with ended up shooting other kids.
So Andre found comfort in the streets too?
Andre was in prison for, y'all heard what she just said. I can't repeat it because of YouTube. So basically she was saying that when they went to go visit him, that Andre made Blue promise him that he was going to do the right thing in life and that he wasn't going to go the way that he went. Blue looked up to his brother. He looked up to his brother so much that the sleeve he got on his arm, his brother drew in prison. And he promised his brother that he was going to do football and he was going to graduate high school and he was going to go to college and he was going to do the right thing and he was going to be better. He wanted his little brother to be better than him. That young man was in prison from 16 to 29 years old. And he was charged as an adult. Continue, Carissa.
I think he found, after, hearing from, after he left and so many nervous breakdowns and Blue and Callie trying to explain to me, like, how this happened when, because he's, getting booked for jobs and we're working. And it's like, how are you, hanging out with the lanes when, you're over here? He had a driver's license.
But in all fairness, it's kind of lame he didn't have a dad in his life.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
When you think about it, like, most people.
Jason Lee said, in all fairness, it's kind of lame he didn't have a dad in his life. I'm not going to interrupt too much, but I'm interrupting this because I want y'all to understand the reason why he said that. Just in case some of the people didn't see this, she had a boyfriend, and then her boyfriend was cheating on her a lot, but this was the one who she was really in love with. She would confide in her neighbor because her neighbor was her friend, and she would be crying about the man she loved all the time, and her neighbor eventually had, ex, and she got pregnant, and she didn't know whether it was the man she wanted to be with or whether it was the next door neighbor. So that's when she ran to California, and she used those words herself. She said she ran. Okay? So Andre, up until this interview that they are talking about right now, did not know who his dad was. He did not know. When she ran, and nobody knew nothing. When he got locked up, she reached out and asked him, did he want to take a DNA test? That's where we are now.
Who go out and find this affection.
And that is why Jason Lee said, well, you saying he hanging out with the lames because he in a gang, but it's kind of lame that he didn't have a father in his life. So he basically saying Andre was looking for a male role model or a male figure or something that he could feel connected to because he didn't know who his dad was. It's one thing to know who your dad is and he's sorry, or he a horrible person, or he just don't want nothing to do with his kids. That's one thing, but at least you still know where you came from. But it's a whole nother thing to not even have a clue who your father is. So that's what Jason Lee is saying. But Carissa is volunteering this information. She's taking it on the chin. And let's hear what else she has to say.
In from the streets is because it's filling a void that they don't have or that they have,
Well, right. So if not having one in Los Angeles means that, when somebody say, where you from, and you don't know what to say, that you figure out what to say really quickly. Andre's a very strong person. Not to say that he doesn't need a dad. He absolutely did need a dad, but I think Los Angeles was definitely overwhelming. Him and Blue was 6 feet tall at like 14 years old. So it's like, he wasn't getting into it in the streets with kids. He was getting, into it with people that, assume that he was a certain age, So sometimes when he, would jump out of my car and be fighting somebody, I'm like, this is a grown ass man. And he's like, 15, 16. But this person, jumped on him last week. So it was some gang stuff that Andre was going through that I didn't really realize what was going on until it was almost too late.
And then Andre gets the manslaughter charge. He goes to prison. I'm assuming because of the age difference and the fact that there is no father figure present. Does Blue look at Andre at the time? Did he look at him like a father figure?
So he definitely felt like he lost a father and not just a brother.
When he got locked up.
Yeah, because look at Andre like his dad.
This one time we were driving down the street. I picked him up from visiting his dad for the weekend. And that Friday I had went to court, and I guess he thought, okay, my brother's gonna come home. They're getting ready to go to court. We had gone to court before I got him out. He had a gun before I got him out on that, brought him home. So I guess, when 6 months had went by, and he's like, I picked him up, and he in the back seat of the car just started kicking the shit out of the back seat of the car, just like going nuts to the point where I had to pull over. And when
she's talking about Blueface, okay? While his brother was in prison, while his brother was in jail, he wasn't in prison yet. He was in jail for this thing, and they're fighting. They're going to get ready to go to court and everything. And so what she's saying is about usually she can get him out. Usually he might get in trouble, but he always come back home, and he's not gone long and all of this and that, right? So she's saying that Blueface came back from his dad's house, and he started kicking the seat. Mind you, he looks at him, even though he was at his dad's house, he looks up to his big brother so much that it's almost like he a father figure to him. So she's saying one day she picked him up and he just started kicking his seat. And what happened, Carissa?
Pulled over. He was like, my dad said my brother's never coming home. And I was just like, why the fuck would he tell him that? My dad's never coming home. My brother's never coming home. And I'm just like, why the fuck would he tell him that? So I pulled the car over. And I explained to him, that it was going to be a long process. And that I promised him that I was going to get him home. But I think that day he changed because he didn't smile anymore. Never smiled after that day. Blue never smiled after that day. He just became like a robot. And we all just kind of tried to deal with it. We all kind of lost our mind. We all lost our minds that year.
When Andre left the house?
Yeah. When Andre left, all of us lost our mind. Literally.
What did that look like for each of you?
We looked like zombies. We looked like we didn't know what the fuck to do. At this point, Blue had like Coogan money, like, I don't know, $60,000 or something. And I'm hustling up trying to figure out how to get the money for this lawyer. He wants $30,000 to do X, Y, and Z, and it's no guarantee. So I'm doing all this stuff to get the money up. And then out of nowhere, Blue was just like, just use my money. It's my money, Mom. Shit. And I was like, I never even thought of that. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get.
All right, just in case anyone doesn't know what Coogan money is, she had her children acting as well, okay? So when Andre was locked up, she didn't have the money. She didn't know what to do. And she said that Blueface, Jonathan, Blueface, told his mama, just use my money that I made from acting. That's important for a reason that we're going to continue to talk about tonight. So remember that, okay, y'all? He had Coogan money because his mom did have him acting, okay? And he said, use my money, Mom. Use my money, because that's how bad he wanted his brother to come home. Now continue.
In trouble for using it, but it's worth it. So I did. I used the money to pay for the attorney. But he didn't get to come home.
And so you're in the prison doing the family visit. Blue promises
she paid for the attorney. He couldn't come home.
He's not going to follow in his footsteps.
$30,000.
And then he joined Schoolyard Crip.
No, he went to college. He did everything that he promised us that he was going to do. He got good grades. He was a scholar athlete. I don't know why the fuck he's spelling the way he's spelling. That's not how he spells, but he did everything he was supposed to do. He passed all his SATs. His grades were perfect. He went to college with flying colors. Him and his dad went on the visit. I let them do the visit. I found the scholarship. I was just reaching out everywhere trying to make sure that he was able to get out of there. And then at the last minute,
this is important for something that I'm going to show tonight, you guys. Don't worry. We're going to get it done today. This is important. Did y'all hear what she said? She said she found the school. She found the scholarship. She went to work to get that boy in school. Continue.
he got the offer. He went down there and they signed, and he was in college. So when he left college, I found out that he left college by calling his coaches to just check in. And they were like, oh, he left like 3 weeks ago. I was like, well, why didn't anybody call me? But they didn't call me because they had used him.
All right, she about to tell us something important, right? Yes, that's why I'm showing this to y'all. And I got it sped up. So that's why some of it I'm going to stop and break down. But I'm going to try to not interrupt as much because this is a 3-hour video. But just so y'all know, right now she is telling us that he did everything he promised his brother. He did go hard in the football. His mama went to work to get him in college, okay? She went to work, and he ended up, when I say went to work, I mean went to work searching, figuring out, finding grants and finding scholarships and finding schools. And when she got him into school, she didn't know he had dropped out until she called just to check on him to see how he was doing in school. So by this time, y'all know he's grown. He's 18 years old. But she was still, even then, calling and checking on her son, making sure that everything was good. So now she's about to tell us why and how he ended up dropping out of school. And they didn't call her and tell her. I was assuming because he's an adult, but maybe she's about to tell us something else too.
In the game that started his clock, and he didn't want his clock, I guess, to start ticking because he wanted to just use that school to go to a bigger school. And so him and the coaches got into it about the way they just, used him in a desperate situation. I didn't really understand how the clock worked, so I didn't, make a big stink about it. But that's why they didn't call me, because they didn't want to tell me that they basically fucked over him. And
all right, let's break this down real quick. Remember, I told y'all Blueface was a football player, okay? Now, the reason why he dropped out of college in a nutshell of what she is saying, because I've seen this a couple times because I wanted to react to it, okay? So what she is saying is that they were in a game, okay? And they were in a desperate situation, and they needed Blueface to get in the game. Why is that a problem? Because Blueface wants to go D1. You remember when Carissa and Peter was like, yeah, D1, nigga, D1. See, this is why you don't confide in certain people. Because she literally used something that he told her in confidence against him. And I'm talking about Krishan Rock. Remember when that was all on that live saying, yeah, D1, my brother D1, Peter D1. The reason why they were saying the D1 thing is because Krishan knows, because Blueface trusted her, that it broke his heart when them coaches at that damn college put him in the game and started his time before he was supposed to start it. His time was important to him because that's what was going to get him into that D1 school he wanted to get into. But the coaches was selfish. They knew that they could win that game if they put Blueface on that field. And when they put him on that field, it started his time. Now, I'm like Carissa, I don't know what the fuck a time is, but I can now put it together that time that they started was going to affect him in the long run of wanting to go to a D1 school. So he got so upset that he left. He dropped out. And the coaches didn't call her because they didn't want to tell her that they fucked him over by putting him in the game and starting his time and not giving a damn about the fact that he wants to go D1. So that's why you got to watch who you lay in bed and pillow talk with, because she threw that up in his face. Just like she threw up in his face that Cam Newton was an idol for him on the football field. Somebody who he loved and looked up to and revered. She went and interviewed with him, and she didn't talk. Y'all, we saw the interview. The entire interview, she was throwing it at him. The entire interview. Talking about sex. Talking about this, that, and the third. She was doing that to hurt Blueface. Just like she was screaming D1, D1 to hurt him. But yet and still, where's she living at right now? And where would she be living at if he told her to get out? Where would she go? What would she do? He need to get it together too, because he shouldn't be with nobody that's doing that either. They not good for each other. They both do messed up things to each other. But the thing is, and because some people might think that I'm a Blueface advocate, right? And that I'm always defending him and I'm defending him too much. No, I got more context than you do about everything. And that's why I'm the one here trying to bring it to y'all. Because I want y'all to see what I see so that we can be on the same page. So if y'all feel, like maybe I'm defending him too much, feel free to say, Lexus, why it seem like you defend him so much? You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta throw shade in the comments or nothing like that. Talk to me. We becoming family, right? We becoming family. Talk to me. This is why I defend him more, because he done already took the lashings. He is not perfect at all. He done did some messed up stuff. But somebody was in this relationship genuine, and somebody was in this relationship that was disingenuous, that came to kill, steal, and destroy Blueface and his family. Remember the other video I told you that she said she tried to play it cool, like, yeah, Jaden, I fuck with you, so that Jaden wouldn't go over there and beat the crap out of her. And remember, I told y'all how she said, I'm saying I'm with you, I'm cool with you, trying to mess her mind up, and I'm looking behind her to see who with her. Remember, I pointed that out to y'all about how she look around and see who with this person so she can isolate them from that person that is there for them. So they can isolate them from that person that's going to have their back no matter what. Women are narcs too. Women are dangerous too. It's not just men. Continue, Carissa.
He left.
But earlier, when you said you don't understand how he ended up in where he is, I understand how he ended up. I mean, a young person's development starts early. So it's not like you go to college and then you decide to get into things. Like you see things as you grow older. Like I saw my mother on drugs. I saw my mother abandon us. I saw my mother lose everything. I chose to learn from her mistakes and be like, I ain't gonna do that, ain't gonna do that, ain't gonna do that. But also as a result of those mistakes, I also have my own kids because I'm afraid that I'm gonna do it wrong, right? Because I can sit here, people watching can sit here and judge you if they want to, but like nobody was in your shoes and know what you were going through. You're still a mother, a human being going through your own experiences. You had your trauma with your stepdad. That's real.
Hold on, I'm gonna back it up just a second because I was talking. But everybody, if you can put a 1 in the chat, make sure y'all hit the like in the video. If you're a moderator in the chat, let the new people that's coming in know what's going on, so that I don't have to stop and repeat the whole thing about me trying to get to the interview and everything. So if you're a moderator, please continue to let them know what's going on. Everybody put a 1 in the chat, no matter what. If you don't have nothing to say, just if you can periodically put a 1 in the chat, because donations are great and I appreciate them because I need them. But another thing that you can do to support me is like, comment, subscribe, engage. That's supporting me as well. So I appreciate all of y'all, no matter what.
You may not even acknowledge, so or know or see. Comment. So like I understand a little.
I was like, well, why didn't anybody call me?
All right, we're gonna go back to right.
But they didn't call me because they had used him in a game that started his clock, and he didn't want his clock, I guess, to start ticking because he wanted to just use that school to go to a bigger school. And so him and the coaches got into it about the way they just, used him in a desperate situation. I didn't really understand how the clock worked, so I didn't, make a big stink about it. But that's why they didn't call me, because they didn't want to tell me that they basically fucked over him and he left.
But earlier when you said you don't understand how he ended up in where he is, I understand how he ended up. I mean, a young person's development starts early. So it's not like you go to college and then you decide to get into things. Like you see things as you grow older. Like I saw my mother on drugs. I saw my mother abandon us. I saw my mother lose everything. I chose to learn from her mistakes and be like, I ain't gonna do that, ain't gonna do that, ain't gonna do that. But also as a result of those mistakes, I also don't have my own kids because I'm afraid that I'm gonna do it wrong, right? Because I can sit here, people watching can sit here and judge you if they want to, but like nobody was in your shoes and know what you were going through. You're still a mother, a human being going through your own experiences. You had your.
That is facts. That's why I backed it up, because I was talking when that was said. That's facts, y'all. That's facts. Everybody put a 1 in the chat for me.
Trauma with your stepdad, that's real. And then somehow that manifests in ways that you may not even acknowledge, so or know or see coming. So like I understand a little bit now more, because he hasn't really shared. Like anytime I ask him about his upbringing, he just like avoids the question. He like comes up with an excuse. He changes the topic. He does not go there. And I just always wonder why.
He might have checked out. Like I said, I think he checked out after that.
Wow. I gotta pause it on that one.
So when I couldn't,
I gotta pause it on that one and go to the other side, because this needs to be shown for the replay game. Y'all, incognito. Oh, I did not know that. And that's something that we're going to talk about tonight. That's something we're going to talk about tonight. Did you see the video of her pretty much saying that Blue is John from the Bible and that she is Jesus? She used a story from the Bible to say that Blue has to decrease for her to increase. This what we doing? Thank you for putting that in the comments. Thank you, everybody that's putting the one in the comments for me. Thank you. Please continue. Let me go ahead and highlight some other comments as well, because y'all, I appreciate y'all. I really do. Shout out to the replay gang too. If you're in the replay gang and you're watching this, go ahead and put a one in the chat for your girl. Go ahead and comment replay gang for your girl, so I know who you are. Even if you don't make it to the live, I'll still be able to know and see that you support me. Go ahead and put a one in the chat if you're in the replay gang. Shout out to the replay gang. Shout out to the notification gang. Let's get it.
Make that happen. I think they realized I didn't have a cape. And the shit's real.
So when he goes to school, he checks out. Where does it go from Jonathan for the athlete, the student, to schoolyard crib? Blueface.
So he left school and he went to Jaden's house.
He moved in with the mom.
Yeah.
So when he leaves school and moves in with Jaden's mom,
I was pissed. I wanted to.
He left school, moved in with Jaden. Carissa was pissed. What else?
I just didn't say anything because I still had to respect the fact that she let him come in and put a roof over his head. She didn't call me and say Blue dropped out or nothing.
And by that time, he's grown.
Right. So but we have been raising them, Jaden and Blue together, her and I, since ninth grade. So we had a relationship, a good relationship.
But at this point, he's grown.
Yes.
So he can move wherever he wants.
Oh yeah. When he left the school, there was no way to tell him he couldn't leave.
So when he moved in with her, was he Blueface then?
No,
he wasn't schoolyard
working a job. And
where did the schoolyard crib come in? I'm trying to figure.
So one of my best friends says that.
Before she explains this, I want y'all to take note of the fact that when Blueface did drop out of school, he went to Jaden's house. Okay, before he was Blueface, before he was famous, he was with Jaden. Okay, and not only that, but the families had a connection at the time. I don't know how they are now, but Carissa is very transparent, and I can appreciate the fact that she said, I was mad, but I still respected the fact that they let my son have a place to stay. Even though I was mad and I was pissed, I still appreciated the fact that they let my son have a place to stay. That's some real ish. And Jaden was there before all of this. And how dare Krishan say that he is John and she is Jesus? What? We're gonna talk about
hanging out in the hood. They made those friends. So the schoolyard crips that they're friends with, they've been friends since they were babies.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? So some of those kids, they raised up together. Yeah, 2 or 3 years old. Okay. So all of those people that he hang with are from babies.
And that was his family.
That's his family. Okay. I mean, the people that run up in the schoolyard, the people that run up and down the street, playing on the play on the street all day. Once you know a couple of them, and those are your brothers basically. They're like cousins and brothers. So once they get into that, then you kind of like, oh, I want to get into it too. My daughter said that she hung out with John and one of his friends, and somebody rode up on the car, they were on a bus or something, and somebody rode up and where you from and pulled out guns on them. And she said instead of them being afraid, they were excited. So I have no idea. It's the lifestyle is, from what I've learned from Andre or the other kids, is that the lifestyle is addictive. It's not just oh, my brother was a Crip, I'm gonna be a Crip. You know what I mean? The lifestyle is addictive too.
Okay, so your son goes on to become a successful rapper. He drops the single Tatiana, blows up, which appears to be overnight. Links up with Whack 100, and becomes a star. What do you think of that when you see your son, who's gone through all these different changes, instability, is moving around with different situations, going to college, dropping out, but now is actually garnering some success?
It was bittersweet because on one hand I was like, okay, he was trying to become this. So I thought, I said some things to him, probably to discourage him because he was calling every night for studio money. Give me 40 more. So I'm going through the process of thinking, is he on fucking drugs or what is it? I mean, even my husband, it's 2 a.m. for us.
Period. All right. Now, y'all remember what I said yesterday. This is where I got it from. That's why I like to show you guys things. Don't forget to put a one in the chat, y'all. And for the people that's doing it, I see you. I still can see the comments from here. So I see you and I appreciate it, okay? Okay? Thank y'all so much. Now, I'm trying to stay on it because y'all know we only got a limited time, but I see y'all. I see the comments, and I appreciate the ones that's putting a one in the chat. Continue to do that for me about every 30 to 60 seconds. Just put a one in there, even if you don't have anything to say. Incognito sounding off in the chat right now with the facts. I cannot believe that Krishan did that or said that. Now, back to what she is saying. She's saying that he became a schoolyard crip because it was people who he grew up with. Not only that, but in the place in which they lived, people was gang banging at all. It's Los Angeles, so she's basically talking about how Kelly has been out with them before, and somebody came and pressed them, and instead of being afraid, they wasn't afraid. It seemed like they were excited more so than afraid. But as young guys, I feel like that's not true. They might have looked like that to her, and I can understand how that would shock her because it would shock me as well. But I feel like, they were all together and nobody wanted to look like they were scared, if you know what I mean. Fear and sadness can turn into anger. If you don't want nobody to know that you're sad or that you're scared, you just get angry and excited and act like you're ready for whatever. But they were young. I'm sure that they were scared on the inside, but they just couldn't show it because as a man, they feel like they can't feel weak or they can't act weak. Continue.
For us, because we're in Ohio, and we get in the call, he's
Wait,
still in
wait.
the studio.
Thank you. I wanted to address the whole thing about the studio as well. Remember, I told y'all that one person put in the comments, the only thing I knew about Blueface was that he was a rapper and he had 2 girlfriends and he put his mom and his sister out and still gave them $10,000 to go get a hotel room. That's the only thing I knew about him, plus the Tatiana song. I said, wow, that's crazy, because that's exactly the way I felt. That's the only time and the first time that I heard about Blueface online was with that situation. And then months yet later, or even a year later, I'm not sure how long it was, but he eventually started the Blue Girls Club. And I feel like the reason why he did was because of how much traffic that story got when his mom and his sister got into it with them 2 girls that he was in a poly situation with, right? So then he got the idea of, you know what? Let me make this, because he saw what it could possibly be. And that's why I feel like he even pursued Blue Girls Club, because of all the attention and feedback that everybody got about that situation with the girlfriends and with his mom. Okay, now I don't know the whole context to everything that happened, but Carissa gonna tell us. She gonna tell us. But also the $40, she was sending him money to be in the studio. So that's why when they got into it and he said he had slept in his car sometimes, she was like, but I still was sending the money to the studio so that you can continue to record. So even though he dropped out of school and she was disappointed in him and he moved in with Jaden, even though she was mad, she said, well, I still got to thank him because my son ain't homeless. Even though she was mad that he dropped out of school, she said he's trying to rap now and I'm still going to support him because he my baby, he my child. And she's sending so much money that they're scared that he might be on drugs because he continued to call and ask for money. But guess what? He was asking for money because he wanted to make a hit, and he did.
Midnight, he's already called for $40 3 times. So we were like, fuck, he's on drugs. So my husband was like, well, just get the number and tell him we're not going to give him the money if he's really at some place that we'll pay the people. So we paid the studio, and it was actually a studio.
Thank y'all. People said everybody put a one in the comment.
So when he was trying it, and he was working too at the same time, but I was just like, you blew it. Like, you're a loser. Like, I said some things, and then he got the tattoo on his face, and I said some more things, and I was heartbroken and frustrated. Okay. It was kind of like, I messed up with Andre, but when Blue went to college, Callie went to college, they both had full ride scholarships. It was kind of for me like, oh shit, I made up for, I'm not the worst mom in the world. I made, I'm doing better. So for them,
did you hear that? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? She's saying that, she feels and felt a lot of guilt about everything that happened with Dre. Not only him not knowing who his parents was, but also him going into prison and being in prison for 13 years, and there's nothing that she can do about it. Nothing at all. But she made sure that Dre and Kelly, they went to school. That does not mean that she loves them more than she loved Dre. That means that she was trying not to repeat the same cycle over and over. As she got older, she tried harder. That's what counts if you're trying to do better, if you want to do better.
Just like throw the scholarships away and all that hard work. It was like, fuck, I failed again, you know?
But so you're back in Ohio, and you're back in Ohio with your husband.
Then she
Okay,
failed again
Mr.
when they
Saffold.
didn't
Right. So I met
finish.
him in Jonathan's 10th grade, maybe 10th, 11th grade. We kind of just dated back and forth. I didn't bring him around until, you know, I was sure. And then that was basically my plan. Like once Jonathan went to college, I'm going to run off and live for myself now. And
Well,
so,
and you're getting ready to celebrate, or you celebrated 7 years.
Who?
Married.
Yes.
Okay, well, we can clap it up for that. I mean,
Got it right.
they say third time's the
The
charm.
third
It's like
time's the
this like
charm.
fourth.
And not only that, not only can we clap it up for that, but also we got to pay attention to the fact that she waited till her youngest child graduated high school before she married somebody. She had got to the point from the mistakes that she had made previously to where she said, I'm not bringing this one around my kids just yet. I'm not putting this one in my life just yet. I'm going to take this slow because at the end of the day, I got to put my children first. And I can respect that. I can respect that. She waited for her youngest child to go to college before she got married, before she started living for herself. She put her children first. So when she tells Krishan, I can't help that your mother didn't do for you what I did for my child, she's just simply speaking of facts. She's saying that I can't help that your mother didn't do this and that and the third. Because she feels like Krishan hates that. She feels like Krishan hates how much she got her son back. When I say got him back, I mean got his back, will do whatever she need to do for him. The first person at the jail for the visitation. Whether she on the list or not, she at the jail.
No, that's third. I got married. He's my third
one.
yeah.
Okay, and so this has been Blue's stepdad, your kid's stepdad, since Jonathan was about what,
sophomore,
19?
Yeah.
Well,
no,
sophomore.
high school.
Okay, but you got married when he was around 19.
Yeah.
Okay, and so
no, I got married because we flew them out. So I got married. Yeah.
7 years, about 19.
Yeah.
Okay, and we did our research.
Oh shit.
Can we play
I'm getting old.
Okay, and so when you started to see him pop, was there a part of you that had animosity because the career that you had pursued for so long and not really obtained that type of success? Was there animosity because he had done it?
No, I was so happy for him because I was like, you know what he said to me? I bet you he doesn't even remember this. He was like, see, Mom, you can get back in now. It never even dawned on me to even try again. I had just like let it die when I lost, when Andre went to jail. I just kind of like, I let go. In fact, I let go so tough. I took those little headshot cards. I don't know if you had any, but we had
but I know what they are.
We had these little headshot SAG cards. I was so happy. And I took that card, and it's still to this day under a church bench. And I promised myself I would come back for it when Andre was like 13 or 14 because he started getting in trouble. So that's when I was like, okay, I got to let this go. I got to watch him.
Why you didn't take your picture from Soul Plane and tape it under there?
Because that picture was cute and it had my phone and it had the SAG and it was the card on me in church.
Yeah.
So I planted it in there and said, I'll be back. And I just forgot all about it until recently. Like, damn, it's probably still under that church bench.
So when he makes it.
That warrants a pause. Hey, Strider, thank you for coming on in the chat. I wish that I could tell you everything, but I told everybody that I was going to just read the bottom. Just read the banner that's scrolling under this video. Anybody who in there, read the bottom of my thing, the fair use banner. I added some things to it that is important. So read the bottom of it if you don't mind. I gotta stay focused because we can't be live for long. If I'm gonna make it to this interview and I'm gonna do what I gotta do, we can't be live for long. Hey sis, I'm glad you here. I know you at work and you in the bush. Bet. Hey boo, I'm off work so I can chill with you. Bet. Because when I do go to the interview, I am going to be live. So after this live ends, I am going to go live on my phone as well. Thank y'all so much. Yushraya, I got an interview today, and you just read the bottom of the thing because I got to stay focused. Somebody tell Yushraya what's going on so that y'all can put it in the chat because I want to get the most out of this video that I can. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. That's facts. Thank you, Yushraya. All right.
I'm super happy and proud of him. I'm so happy and proud of him. And then when he said, this is, because at the time Callie is, pursuing acting in Atlanta. So we kind of looked at it like we called Blue the gatekeeper when he was little because we walk him in there to do the commercial. He read above, reading average, and he would just walk in there and get the jobs. So,
All right, boom. This is important because I don't want nobody to think because I say certain things that I'm riding Blueface or, what I'm saying, like I'm just caping for him. No, I'm just speaking facts. That young man has anything that he's ever tried to do, he was good at it. You got people like that in this world. Both of my kids is like that. Both of my boys is like that. If anything they touch, they're gonna be great at it. They read above, both of them accelerated readers, both of them. So all I'm doing is stating facts that that man was an actor when he was younger, and they used to call him the gatekeeper because every job he walked into, he read above average and he got the job. That's why he told his mom to use his Coogan money. He had $30,000 in Coogan money. His mom wanted to be an actress. Okay, she wanted to be an actress. That's how she ended up losing Callie, because her parents said, "Hey, we're gonna keep Dre and John," and Callie's dad wanted to keep her for the summer. But then they ended up moving, took Callie. They know people in high places, and she had to go a very long time with being, you know, in a situation where she had to go and pay child support and visit her daughter, all while trying to chase her dreams, right? But then she's by herself doing it. She got 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. And Andre is the oldest, and Andre don't know who he is because he don't know who his father is. He don't know who his father is, never met him, never seen a picture, never nothing. So when he got in trouble and he ended up going to prison for 13 years, she felt like she failed. When they stopped going to college, she felt like she failed. But even in that moment, she still supported them. She still supported her children. When Andre started getting in trouble, she said, "You know what? I'm putting the acting down because I got to watch him, because I'm losing grip while I'm trying to hustle, while I'm trying to get this." And I'm telling you, the cost of living then wasn't what it is now, and it was still hard. So y'all can just imagine.
No, because there was rooms that I wasn't even allowed in until Jonathan started booking, and then people started seeing us, and it was like, oh, okay, like, oh shit, okay, I'm his mom, they let me in.
Y'all hear
So
that?
the kids used to call him the golden child, like, he this gonna be the gatekeeper, he gonna get us all in.
Well, the movie The
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that?
Golden Child, if you watch it, everybody honored him and held him up like Simba in The Lion King. How do you go from that to what we see now online every day?
Because Jonathan didn't honor anything that I instilled in him when he got there.
And what was that?
And that was basically reach back and grabbing your siblings. So they also promised me, him and Callie, that they would set up a situation financially for Andre. That was the whole, I paid almost $10,000 a year for Callie to play basketball. Blue had private quarterback lessons. I'm sitting in the car reading my book, they throwing the ball. Sometimes I'm out there so long they have to use my car lights to finish, with their training and stuff. And this training and this thirst and this journey that we were on for them to make it was so that Andre didn't get trapped in the system coming home and going back in again. We have family members. We know if there's nothing for them when they come home, they're going right back. So that was the plan. And when I saw that was...
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Remember I kept bringing that up? Did y'all hear that? So when she say, "Don't get mad at me because your mom didn't do what I did," it might hurt, but she's just saying the truth. It comes out harsh. It comes out crazy, but it comes out harsh and crazy when she talks about herself too. But at the end of the day, you can see if somebody's heart is pure. You can see if somebody's soul is pure. This man got his mother and his family indoors in Hollywood that she wasn't even able to get through herself. But she was in certain rooms that she used to not be allowed in Hollywood because her son was going ham, and she supported that. She was the one who put him out there to be acting, and not just him. Not just him. It's not like she looked at her child and said, "This is the one that's going to be somebody." No, she put all of them in it. She did it for all of them. She didn't just push one. Blue and Callie went to college. She had no favoritism, no favorites, no nothing. As a matter of fact, what she said, that Blue was supposed to reach back and grab his family, grab his sister and his brother. Whoever made it was supposed to help everybody else make it. Whether it was Blueface or anybody else, that was the dynamic that they had as a family, the 4 of them. She wanted it to be the 5 of them, but the men who she was choosing wasn't great choices. So you know what she did after that? She said, "Well, I ain't bringing no man around my child no more, around my children. I'm not going to live my life or get married until my baby boy, my youngest child, graduates high school and goes to college. Then I'll live my life and be free." That's a mother. that made mistakes in the beginning, but that had great intentions. Sometimes you can have great intentions for something, and it could be the worst mistake of your life, and you don't realize it. But once you do realize it, the only thing you can do is not do it again. The only thing you can do is not do it again and set up a situation to where you can fix the problem, to where you can save the problem, so that you can change the tide of the situation. I respect that. I'm sorry. I respect it. I respect it.
Wasn't like they lost their way for the plan. I kind of grew angry. And then it was like when we went to go stay with him, he was like, when he first signed, he told Callie when he went to Atlanta, yeah, come on out to California, I'm gonna help you, get on acting or whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. He got a foot in the door. Boom, she should come. I co-signed that. So when she sold all her stuff and moved out of her apartment and came down here, he said, I had already paid for an apartment for the whole year, you straight. It's not his fault and it's not her.
All right, now she about to break down to us the situation that happened with the apartment. Remember, I told y'all that's all I knew about him in the first place, right? So she's about to break down to us the situation about the apartment and that scene that we saw where they were getting into it with the girlfriends and everything. Blue had invited his sister out there to come in and get herself together. He was reaching back like they planned. Okay? Now she's about to tell us how everything went wrong. How we ended up seeing that video of them getting into it and fighting. That was my first introduction to Blueface. I knew the song Tatiana, but I didn't know the person who made it. I just knew that I heard a version with Cardi and I heard a version with Nicki Minaj. That's all I knew. I didn't know about the person who actually made that song. But then I seen that video of him being poly. And then all of a sudden, his mom and his sister getting into it with girls. And it made it seem like, oh, your ratchet ass family coming and your ratchet family coming up here. And they trying to do that. And that wasn't the case. Now, let's hear what happened after that.
Her fault.
Who paid for the apartment? Blueface?
Blue had paid for an apartment for a year.
For the sister.
But he had roommates. So he had just paid his rent, forward for 6 months. And then once he got his house, he was like, oh, she can stay there. But what happened was that we didn't find out until years later while we were at each other's throat is that his friend never, ever responded to let her in. He was supposed to give her keys. This whole time, Blue was thinking that we didn't want to go there. She was too bougie that she wanted to stay in his house. That was never the case. The case was that the guy ran off with the keys and was like, oh, shit, I'm staying here by myself for free. And he never let her in.
But on the outside as fans, I mean, it looks like, and I personally talk to him offline and see him outside. I look at him like he's a good person. I mean, I like him. I think he does put on for the cameras. He definitely knows how to put on for social media. And he's created a character that, in my opinion, he allows everybody to hate as long as it provides for everybody he cares about. Because everybody that's in his world, it appears on the outside that he's in some way setting up situations for them to be taken care of.
Oh yeah. He's definitely meticulously moving pieces on the board.
Right.
All of them play chess. He knows sometimes even when he says, fuck you, mom, you're a whore. I know that's go get it, mom. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might take it as he called his mom a hoe. I'm like, all right, I'm up. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? So and he still could have been mad and called me a whore that day. But to this day, I'll never know. I'll never know when he said, you ain't my mom, fuck you. Like there's different things that he'll do, and probably even to Krishan, probably to you, probably to, different people when he feels like, okay, this ain't.
Wait, did y'all hear what she said? I think it's a coincidence that she was saying that, he's meticulous and he's moving, pieces on the board like he's playing chess. That's what she said. And she said that sometimes when he say F you, mom, everybody else might take it like he's saying that. But what he really saying is go get it, mom. I'm about to power you up. I'm about to power you up so that you can go get it. Basically, I guess as far as with numbers and as far as with impressions, likes, the algorithm, everything. She's saying that sometimes we might take it like he's doing that, but really what he wants is his mama to be in the media or in a part of it so that she can get her own shine. So that's what she's saying. She took it as, okay? I'm not saying that that's facts or that's not facts, but that's his mama talking. And everything she done said so far done been on point. So that's how she's feeling. If that's what it is, that's what's up. She's very, very raw and real. Even if it makes her look bad.
In his piece. I gotta figure out.
He's extremely manipulative. We're gonna talk about because he tried to play.
Well, manipulation is more. He ain't manipulating. He's being a quarterback.
He is a very nice, narcissist, manipulative, beautiful soul. I love Blueface. Everybody, oh yeah, you know me, I'm explaining to you why. And I'll take my own situation because I had to remove myself from the toxicity of whatever this is because I'm enthralled in it like everybody else, but I have a job to do. Right? Like I love talking to everybody, I love talking to him, and I'm sure he'll come back at some point after he manipulates.
What happened, Jason?
Let me say this: it looks like to all of us on the outside that he was taking care of you guys. Because I remember one of the first viral moments that I saw of you guys was when he was kicking y'all out of his house. Now, did you feel a sense based on this pact that you all believe you had that you were entitled to be taken care of?
Absolutely, it was a pact.
Okay, explain that because I love that you guys all own your shit.
It was a pact because we were a family that had went through.
You heard Jason Lee say, well, explain it because I love how you own your shit. She said, absolutely, it was a pact. They made a pact. Okay? Now, children, we're going to get into it. I'm going to let Jason Lee go ahead and talk to her about this. But you heard how he said, I like that you own your shit. I do too.
A very traumatic situation. And we had made we had made a plan. Remember, this is the person that said, use the money, steal it from the Coogan account. Now, mind you, this is an 8-year-old. So that's why I say it's not manipulation, it's calculation.
Calculation is a better word.
He is very calculated because I would have never thought to go take that Coogan money. Now I'm a grown ass woman and I'm out here like I might have to do a strange thing for a piece of change at this point.
Who earned the Coogan money?
He did.
Right. So this is my point. I feel like Blue has always been required to be an adult in this situation.
And not required. Like I said, I didn't even think of that. That was his suggestion.
I'm not saying you required it.
Oh,
I'm saying
in his heart.
Blueface has a big heart, in my opinion. And I feel like there was this sense where he felt he needed to be the provider because his dad wasn't there, Andre's dad wasn't there, Callie's dad wasn't there. So he stepped up to do that. But I feel like now it looks like, at least on the outside, that it's always at the detriment of him because he's always either attacked or put in a situation where he's fighting somebody that is supposed to love him or that he's supposed to be in love with in order for everybody to feel like they're taken care of.
All right, now that's important. That's important because we're talking about Jason Lee. Now, one thing that I have realized about Jason Lee and one thing that I've picked up on is that Jason Lee, as the years go, he gets swifter and swifter with his words, and he figures out ways to say certain things. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I actually think that that's a good thing because he knows how to get to the nitty gritty without necessarily offending somebody. So what he just said was that sometimes it seems like he has to, the people who he try to help, he ends up fighting the people who are supposed to love him. He talking about Krishan. He talking about Carissa. I don't know if he's talking about Jaden, but he talking about the sister. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about the people. And this is important because I'm going to show y'all what Blue said about this in his own words. This is important because Jason Lee is basically advocating for him, saying that he got a big heart and he want to help people. And sometimes he gets discouraged because the people who he's trying to help sometimes stab him in the back or disrespect them, or he end up having a fight with them and they don't appreciate what he do for them. Now, we're going to go into that, okay? We're going to go into that because Jason Lee said that he was a narcissist. She said that he's meticulous. Jason Lee agreed with it. Also, it is important to note that right now, Jason Lee is not the happiest with Blueface right now because he was pissed about the fact that when he had that interview with Blueface and Jaden, he was pissed about the fact that Blueface ended up going to No Jumper to give No Jumper the same interview and see that he gave to Jason Lee. And Jason Lee had not put the video out yet. No Jumper put that, when No Jumper was putting that video out, Jason Lee hurried up and put his video out. Now, his numbers did higher than No Jumper, but Jason Lee was pissed at the fact that he even went to No Jumper because he wanted the exclusive. So he felt like because Blueface was mad that he did an interview with Krishan, Blueface went to No Jumper to do an interview. Okay? When he went to No Jumper to get an interview, Jason Lee was mad at him. That's why you're going to notice that a little bit in the tone of their conversation. It's not that deep, but he's going to point out that Blueface did that because he was being petty because I interviewed Krishan. That is what I got from everything that they said and everything that he's about to say right now.
Why would he have to fight if he's...
Go off in the chat, y'all.
If you disagree, tell me.
I mean, I don't think that he feels like he has to fight. I feel like in every situation, he's not the person who starts the shit. He's never the person.
Right.
He's never the person who starts it.
So he's on the defense.
Yes.
So my point is he reaches a certain level of success. He has this commercial success with Tatiana and all that, and the Cardi B remix and everything. And now he's soaring in his career. And then there's this sense of obligation to him that he has to take care of everybody.
He's never had to take care of anyone. Callie and Dre have done an awesome job taking care of themselves, even watching him. He has not thrown one bone that I can't ever remember for either one of them. Now he has, when Andre tried to start having his parties, at Blue's house in that aspect, but it's not to the point where it's not sufficient. So if I tell him, okay, your sister's coming out here, she's acting, she's going to sell all her stuff. This was his idea. And then she gets there and you lose your train of thought because, Blue have a problem when it comes to the JJ. He kind of loses his mind a little bit. So when the JJ gets in his mind, he loses track.
All right, I'm starting this over because I was talking. Incognito, you going off. I'm loving your comments. You try. I appreciate your comments and your support. Everybody that's putting a 1 in the chat, I appreciate y'all. I'm going to try to go for at least another 20 to 30 minutes because I got to get to that. I got to get to it. I should have enough to get there. I don't know if I'm going to tell you right now. Right now, I don't have enough to get back, but I do believe that I got enough to get there. I might be just a few dollars short of enough to get there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go there and I'm going to have faith that I'm going to get back. Anybody who doesn't know what's going on, read the thing scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Listen, read Straya messages, my moderators' messages, and you'll know what's going on and what I'm talking about. But I'm going to go, y'all. I'm going to go. I appreciate it. Let's keep going.
He is a very nice, narcissist, manipulative, beautiful soul. I love Blueface.
Narcissist?
Everybody know, oh yeah, I'm gonna explain to you
okay.
why. I'll tell you my own situation because I had to remove myself from the toxicity of whatever this is because I'm enthralled in it like everybody else, but I have a job to do, right? Like I love talking to everybody, and I love talking to him, and I'm sure he'll come back at some point after he manipulates his way over here. But let me say this: it looks like to all of us on the outside that he was taking care of you guys because I remember one of the first viral moments that I saw of you guys was when he was kicking y'all out of his house. Now, did you feel a sense based on this pact that you all believe you had that you were entitled to be taken care of?
Absolutely. It was a pact.
Okay. Explain that because I love that you guys all own your shit.
It was a pact because we were a family that had went through a very traumatic situation. And we had made we had made a plan. And remember, this is the person that said, use the money, steal it from the Coogan account. Now, mind you, this is an 8-year-old. So that's why I say it's not manipulation, it's calculation.
Calculation is a better word.
He is very calculated because I would have never thought to go take that Coogan money. Now I'm a grown ass woman and I'm out here like I might have to do a strange thing for a piece of change at this point.
Who earned the Coogan money?
He did.
Right. So this is my point. I feel like Blue has always been required to be an adult in the situation. And
not required. Like I said, I didn't even think of that. That was his suggestion.
I'm not saying you required it.
Oh,
I'm saying
his heart.
Blueface has a big heart, in my opinion. And I feel like there was this sense where he felt he needed to be the provider because his dad wasn't there, Andre dad wasn't there, Callie's dad wasn't there. So he stepped up to do that. But I feel like now it looks like, at least on the outside, there's always at the detriment of him because he's always either attacked or put in a situation where he's fighting somebody that is supposed to love him or that he's supposed to be in love with in order for everybody to feel like they're taken care of. Why
would he have to fight if he's... No, I don't.
If you disagree, tell me.
I mean, I don't think that he feels like he has to fight. I feel like in every situation, he's not the person who starts the shit. He's never the person.
Right.
He's never the person who starts it.
So he's on the defense.
Yes.
So my point is he reaches a certain level of success. He has this commercial success with Tatiana and all that, and the Cardi B remix and everything. And now he's soaring in his career. And then there's this sense of obligation to him that he has to take care of everybody.
He's never had to take care of anyone. Callie and Dre have done an awesome job taking care of themselves. Even watching him, he has not thrown one bone that I can't ever remember for either one of them. Now he has, when Andre tried to start having his parties, at Blue's house in that aspect, but it's not to the point where it's not sufficient. So if I tell him, okay, your sister's coming out here, she's acting, she's going to sell all her stuff. This was his idea. And then she gets there and you lose your train of thought because, Blue have a problem when it comes to the JJ. He kind of loses his mind a little bit. So when the JJ gets in his mind, he loses track.
I wasn't even talking about Andre because honestly, didn't even see Andre enter the group chat until recently. I haven't seen because I try to follow everything, but it's so much. I'm talking about specifically, it was you and Callie. One of the first memories I remember was when you all were fighting. He was kicking you all out the house, but this was like
when he had the JJ in the house. He was too happy about the two JJs in the house. Okay. Now, remind you, I'm staying there with her. I got a house. I'm a homeowner. I'm in Ohio. Okay. I brought her there. We drove her there. We didn't ask for flight money. He just bought $1 million house. We didn't ask for, can you help us move her stuff? We sold her stuff. We jumped in the car. We drove. We drove to Blue's all his concerts and stuff. We went on tour with him, driving behind him. He might fly, we drive. That was just our thing. We've been driving.
Did y'all hear that? That's how she supports him. He might be on the bus, on the road, on a plane. She gonna support her child. She didn't need no money from him. That's what she's saying. She didn't need no money from him. She's saying that he made the pact and that's what he wanted to do. And she wasn't forcing him to do it, but that's what she thought that they had. And she took accountability for the fact that he shouldn't have to do that because he's the child. But she's also letting us know that she's supporting him 100% no matter what. Even if she had to drive behind the tour bus, even if she had to drive 5 states over because he's taking a flight, she supported her child. She supported him all his life. Nothing she's doing is out of character for her. Nothing. This is how she's always been, supporting her kids.
To the prison, so we love to drive.
Mhm.
So it wasn't like he was, required to take care of anyone. He's doing it now because it's like, okay, this is what I said. This is how you provide opportunities so that your sister and your brother can fish for themselves, not hand them $300-400 and tell them to get the fuck out of here. It's just share the show. Everybody's working together. Everybody got their hand in their own job, not a hand out. And I feel like at this point he wants to like be in charge of everybody. And maybe that's, he's grown accustomed to that and not
That's what
having
narcissists
that.
do.
Stop it.
I'm not saying he is, but that's what narcissists do.
What?
That's the same game Kanye plays. Wants to be in charge of every piece on the chessboard. Yes.
That's not a narcissist. That's more like, it's a leader. It's more of like a quarterback. It's like when you're a quarterback, because we got to remember.
See, now you sound like an enabler.
No, there we go.
I'm just saying.
All right, now let's break this down real quick. Because she said that he's being more of a quarterback. Okay, I'm not a football, like, I like the Cowboys, okay, as a football team, but I'm not like a football guru where I know every little thing that's going on with football. But I do know that the quarterback is the person who's supposed to run the ball, right? The quarterback is the person who's supposed to run that ball to that goal, right? So what she's saying is he's been a quarterback. He's being meticulous. He's got a group of people, and he's trying to have everybody in a certain position to be good, to be okay, to win. And while she's telling us these stories of things that happened in his childhood, I want us to remember how Krishan acted like she wanted to help her family so freaking bad. I need y'all to tap in with me. I see my girls tapped in. Everybody put a 1 in the chat right now if you with me on this. If you feeling what I'm saying on this. And if you're not, put a 1 in the chat or put a comment if you don't get it. Because what I'm attempting to point out to y'all right now is his heart. It's Blueface real heart. And I'm not saying, oh, Lord, we need to worship Blueface. No. That's not the point, y'all. The point of what I'm saying is somebody knows that about him because he trusted them enough to open his heart and tell people, that person, Krishan Rock, a couple things about him. And what she did was she mirrored herself. She mirrored herself. That's why she's lost now, because he's locked up. So she don't have nobody to suck the energy from. She don't have nobody to mirror no more, because them jail calls is got darn limited. Okay? They're limited. There are some things that might be happening when he on a 3-hour or 4-hour lockdown. She's not able to suck from him as much as she used to. This is important. You see how his heart is. He wanted to help all the people around him, and guess what? He actually did do that. So what do you think he was thinking when they was on Zeus and they made a situation to where Krishan can go to Baltimore and make sure everybody in her family that showed up on that set got $10,000 check? Do y'all know the first thing that Blueface said to Krishan was, you need to be taking care of the business right now so that they can make sure that they get their money. He was telling her then to make sure you look out for your family before anything. Because that's who he thought she was, because that's who he is. And she was mirroring herself to be like him because she wanted to get close to him. You understand? She knew what role to play because she knew that he was the type of man that likes to take care of his people and definitely take care of people who he loved. And he thought that he met somebody that felt the same way. He thought he met somebody that was out there trying to grind in Los Angeles so that they can get money for their family because they was homeless since they was 9 years old, not mentioning anything about the rich family at the time they took her in, not mentioning anything about her sister getting a house with 2 extra bedrooms for her and Petey. And now she got guest rooms in that house. If her sister had that house then, when Krishan was in high school, 15, 16 years old, and she still got that house now to this day, because I saw a live with her talking about it, that means that she was not broke. Tasiki never needed no money from her. That's why I put that on my short last night, because Tasiki don't call Krishan for money. Her mama might, but she don't answer the phone. Her brother might. Her little brother Petey, the one who she said, we're going to buy him some cleats. After you went to the JJY and got a couple $1,000 telling them people that you did that for your family. after you did Blue Girls Club and made it seem like you ain't have nowhere to stay so that he can let you stay in that mansion and vlog and point, you know what, at Bonnie baby and call him a B word? After all of that.
But I'm just saying because I know him personally.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's on the field and he sees the play, he might have the drop on this one that you don't have. So it may seem like I want to be in control of everybody, but I already got the drop. This dude's faster than you. You can't get over here in time. You do this, you do this, you do this. And then if you don't do that, that's where the narcissist comes in, that he's not happy with, oh, you thought we was finna just sit here and wait for you all day? No, we're not.
Okay, so when he kicks you out the house and you go viral on social media, why not just pack it up, go back to Ohio, and let Blueface be a rapper? How do you then stay in it all? Like, why are you then still?
Oh, no, we left.
Okay.
We were done that day.
And
Callie went to a shelter. Callie went to a shelter. She was in a shelter for like 6 months.
In LA?
Yes. She refused to go home with me. She was like, I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to stay here in the shelter. I took her baby and left.
She was in the shelter with
6
the baby?
months.
Thank y'all.
She was in the shelter with the baby?
6 months.
Oh,
6 months?
6 months.
Oh.
And then, okay, so then you take the baby, and then from that point to where are you rolling around?
All right, we got to get some shit. We got to get some straightening real quick because I was talking during a certain part. Now she's talking about, Jason Lee said, well, okay, after that whole situation, why didn't y'all just leave? Why did y'all continue to stay? Nobody ever knew this, that Carissa ended up going back home. Hold on, I'm trying to fix my glasses, y'all. Nobody ever knew that Carissa was literally trying, she went back home, but guess what? Callie did not go back home. Callie stayed. Callie did not want to leave. Callie stayed and she went to a shelter, and her mom got the baby for her, and she wanted to make her own way out there in Los Angeles, and that's what she did. Okay, whether he was mad at them or not for how they handled it and everything else, that's what she did. She stayed there, and Carissa went back to Ohio with her husband because she never came out there to live anyway. She came out there to support her other child as well because she supports all of her children equally. So when Callie wanted to make a move for her life, guess who drove her there? Her mother. When things didn't go as planned and she felt like I gave up my life in Ohio and it's not working out, I want to stay, mama. I want to stay and I want to make this work. You know what you know what her mama did? She said, all right, I believe in you. I'm going to take your baby for you and let you get yourself together and let you figure this out. I got you. She supports all of her children, not just one, all of them. And Krishan used these situations that you're hearing about right now. Krishan knows even more than that about Blueface, even more than what we're finding out in this moment about Blueface. Krishan knew even more than that. And she started mirroring herself so that she could identify with him, so that she can be, so that he can get close to her. Another important thing that I'm going to show y'all on the interview that Blueface did with Jason Lee. Oh yeah, on that interview, guess what? Blueface was talking and he said something about, that he felt like people started feeling entitled and ungrateful. Basically, what I'm saying is he said that he feel like sometimes people forget that he's having their back. Sometimes people forget that, he's trying to open doors for them and set up the place for them because he is a football player. He was a quarterback. So he likes to organize. He likes to make sure that everybody in a position so that they can win. And Krishan was an imposter in all of this. She's seen everybody who was with and behind him, and one by one, she tried to take them out and take them away. He felt for her. He felt for her because of the stories that she told him. He felt for her because she made it seem like she did. You remember the other night, last night? No, not last night, the night before. You remember when I showed y'all how she was crying because Petey went back to the house because the mama called and said she had a bad feeling? And she said, mommy is mommy. Remember when she said her mama asked her for $1,500 out of the money that she won that she said she was going to use on her family anyway, but she bucked and she never went back and she never gave her family a fucking dime. She bought Petey some fucking cleats after she had got over $10,000 and her mama asked her for $1,500 and she give her ass to kiss. But then you want to get on here when you see that the truth is coming out. When you see that you look stupid when you say that she called your child an R word when all she said was the eyes were far apart. And that does not mean anything is wrong with anybody. But that's the way that Krishan took it. Because Krishan knows something that she thinks we don't know. She thinks that she can hide it from us. It's too many mothers in this world for you to hide it from us. It's too much Google, too much education, too much all of that for you to hide and disguise your prop, your precious prop. That baby ain't no prop. That's a real person. That's a real person. That's not a prop.
The dirt with Krishan. Like, when did Krishan?
She done went from the shelter to Krishan.
Because at some point,
so
before we even get to Krishan, did you always hate Jaden, or did you at some point like Jaden?
What? I don't hate her to this day. I love
she
Jaden.
snipped like a Barbie, and she ain't worried about nobody, clearly. But you did not. I mean, you at some point didn't like Jaden.
I've always liked her. I've just always seen different things that she would do.
Yes.
I would say as a narcissist and try to control like what he disperses to us.
You think Jaden's a narcissist over your son?
Yes. Oh hell yes.
Carissa, you must have smoked.
Oh hell yeah. She's a good one too. What?
Jaden?
Yeah, Jaden is controlling this whole shit. Y'all think it's John. She told him, go on over here and get that bitch money. Bring it back. You better stop fucking playing. You ain't picking up what I've been putting down this whole year, huh?
Okay, wait.
You ain't picking it up.
Down. All right, so
I need to run it back.
She's the pimp.
So
she about to drop some shit
about cooking, cleaning. You know, her mom. I'm staying there with her. I got a house. I'm a homeowner. I'm in Ohio. Okay. I brought her there. We drove her there. We didn't ask for flight money. He just bought $1 million house. We didn't ask for, can you help us move her stuff? We sold her stuff. We jumped in the car. We drove to Blues, all his concerts and stuff. We went on tour with him, driving behind him. He might fly, we drive. That was just our thing. We drive him to the prison, so we love to drive. So it wasn't like he was, required to take care of anyone. He's doing it now because it's like, okay, this is what I said. This is how you provide opportunities so that your sister and your brother can fish for themselves, not hand them $300-400 and tell them to get the fuck out of here. It's just share the show. Everybody's working together. Everybody got their hand in their own job, not a hand out. And I feel like at this point he wants to like be in charge of everybody. And maybe that's, he's grown accustomed to that and not having that. Stop it.
I'm not saying he is, but that's what narcissists do.
What?
That's the same game Kanye plays. Wants to be in charge of every piece on the chessboard. Yes.
That's not a narcissist. That's more like, it's a leader. It's more of like a quarterback. It's like when you're a quarterback, because we got to remember.
See, now you sound like an enabler.
No, there we go.
I'm just saying.
But I'm just saying because I know him personally. And if he's on the field and he sees the play, he might have the drop on this one that you don't have. So it may seem like I want to be in control of everybody, but I already got the drop. This dude's faster than you. You can't get over here in time. You do this, you do this, you do this. And then if you don't do that, that's where the narcissist comes in, that he's not happy with, oh, you thought we were going to just sit here and wait for you all day? No, we're not.
Okay, so when he kicks you out the house and you go viral on social media, why not just pack it up, go back to Ohio, and let Blueface be a rapper? How do you then stay in it all? Like, why are you then still?
Oh no, we left. Okay, we were done that day. Callie went to a shelter. Callie went to a shelter. She was in a shelter for like 6 months.
In LA?
Yes. She refused to go home with me. She's like, I'm gonna stick it out. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna stay here in the shelter. I took her baby and left.
She was in the shelter with
6 months.
She was in the shelter with the baby?
6 months.
For 6 months?
6 months.
And then, okay, so you take the baby, and then from that point to where are you rolling around in the dirt with Krishan? Like when did Krishan?
She went from the shelter to Krishan.
Because at some point, before we even get to Krishan, did you always hate Jaden, or did you at some point like Jaden?
I don't hate her to this day. I love
she
Jaden.
snipped like a Barbie, and she ain't worried about nobody, clearly. But you did not. I mean, you at some point didn't like Jaden.
I've always liked her. I've just always seen different things that she would do. I would say as a narcissist and try to control like what he disperses to us.
You think Jaden's a narcissist over your son?
Yes. Oh hell yes.
Carissa, you must have smoked.
Oh hell yeah. She's a good one too. What?
Jaden?
Yeah, Jaden is controlling this whole shit. Y'all think it's John. She told him, go on over there and get that bitch money. Bring it back. You better stop fucking playing. You ain't picking up what I've been putting down this whole year, huh?
Okay, wait,
No, ain't nobody been picking it up. Y'all, if I'm gonna do this, I gotta hop off of here, y'all. I gotta hop off of here. Let's get the time. We at 104:01. I need one of my girls to put that in the chat so that we remember. Somebody put that in the comments. Matter of fact, replay game. When y'all put replay, either put a 1 in the comment, put a timestamp in the comment, which is at 104:01, so we can come back to this. When I come back and tell y'all that I got the job. Now, when I come back and tell y'all that I got the job, we gonna come back. Feel free to donate to my Cash App because it looks like I got enough to get there, but I'm gonna have to get back too. but I'm gonna go. Even if I ain't got enough to get back, I'm still gonna go. Okay, my Cash App is right here. And the reason why I'm putting it up here for anybody who don't know is that I got an interview. I got a job interview, y'all. I do. And I have to be there by a certain time, of course, but I let the man know what window that I had. And he said, as long as you're here before such and such time. So we on track. I gotta stop right now if I'm gonna make it. I appreciate the people who donated to me to help me get there. It looks like I got enough to get there. If you feeling generous, if you want to, feel free to donate so that you can help me get back home. I'm gonna pick up my son, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna go live. My mom had something to do, and that was already pre-planned. So it's nothing that I can do about that. This interview was set up yesterday. So she already had something to do today. There's nothing that I can do about that, and I respect that. I appreciate the ones in the chat who believe in me. I appreciate everybody who hit that like. I appreciate everybody who put that one in the chat. I appreciate everybody in the replay game. I appreciate everybody who donates. I do. And even if you don't donate to my Cash App, when you hit a like, a comment, a subscribe, anything, put a one in the chat, say go girl, whatever. You supported me, and I appreciate that. If you want to be a moderator or you are a moderator, please hit me up on IG. Please hit me up on IG or in my email. I'm going to check all of my comments today from all of my past videos because I've been slipping on replying to the comments. So don't worry, I have not overlooked you. When I get back and I get free time before I go live, I'm going to reply to a couple comments. And after the live, before I go to sleep, I'm going to reply to more comments. Okay, y'all? If y'all want to hit me up, go to either one of these. King Lexus, King Lexus on Instagram and King Lexus Becoming email. If y'all hit me up in any of those places, we can talk if you want to be a moderator. I appreciate y'all so much. I love y'all so much. I'm about to go get this job, y'all. I'll be back. Thank you for everybody who donated and anybody who is about to donate so that I can make it back. I'm thanking you in advance. Y'all have a good one. See y'all later. Much love. Peace.